This was one of the most wonderful events. It's a concert that took place in the series of Dmitri Chvorostovsky and Friends. And we all knew that there were upcoming performances with Sandra and Dmitri. The Metropolitan, Covent Garden, San Francisco Opera. And this was just the ideal opportunity to bring Sandra to Moscow. She had never been to Moscow. To perform with Dmitri. So this was the first time that they'd ever sung together. And you'll see this incredibly intense music making that's going on stage. The whole experience of being in that tremendous concert hall, which is one of the best acoustics in the world, working with Dmitri for the first time, Dmitri experiencing working with Sandra for the first time. They'd seen each other at the Met and they'd knowing each other, but I think that the fact that they really had only this was the first time that they were working together, that it was a very exciting experience for both of them, and it was something that then everybody was looking forward to everywhere else. The Great Hall of the Moscow Conservatory is one of the great concert halls of Europe. Everybody in Russia had performed there, all the greats. Tchaikovsky, Rachmaninoff, everybody who was anyone. It was built in the late 19th century, and the two Rubinstein brothers, Anton and Nikolai, were heads of the two conservatories in Imperial Russia. One of them was in Moscow, the other was in St. Petersburg. And for the last 20 years I'd been intimately involved with that concert hall, with many, many performances there and recordings. In fact, most of Dmitri's recordings were done at the Great Hall of the Conservatory with my orchestra. What was wonderful about this performance is, that, again, the fact that they did the Trovatore, the scene from Act 4, and they did this wonderful scene from Ballo. And I don't believe that Sandra had performed Ballo before. Of course, Dmitri had done it many, many times. And it was just a brilliant performance of that scene, and the music is so vibrant and fantastic, and the singing was great. And on the CD, we have an extra added bonus of the recognition scene from Simon Boccanegra. So if you don't have that CD yet, I think it's a good idea for you to get that too. The orchestra that we use in this particular CD and the DVD is the Philharmonia of Russia. It's my hand-picked creme de la creme orchestra of all my very close friends and colleagues who are musicians in the various orchestras around Moscow. In fact, somebody in some newspaper someplace along the line called it the creme de la Kremlin, which I thought was kind of cute. But in any case, these are great musicians who come together and we do these special events. And for me, one of the most special events, of course, is Chvorostovsky and Friends. Anything to do with Dmitri Chvorostovsky is special, and when he's got his friends involved, is even more special. What is wonderful is to work with Dmitri in the rehearsal period. A lot of singers sing half voice, and they come and they're not going to exert themselves much during the rehearsals, and are saving themselves for the performance. And inevitably, Dmitri comes with that in mind. But about 2 minutes later, it's really an incredible experience, because he's like half humming, half singing in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, he's singing full out, full force, total emotion, total dedication, total commitment to the work that he's singing, to the aria or the duet or whatever. And of course, the partner involved here, Sandra, is a very intense musical personality, and I think that the blend and the mix of them getting to know each other, first of all during the rehearsal period, and playing off of each other, really made for an incredibly interesting performance on the stage of the Great Hall of the Conservatory. Rehearsing in that way builds them up for the performance, so that they are already in tune to each other's tremendous musical intensity, that they have already rehearsed in the rehearsal. And that's why you see the type of intensity and that tremendous bonding that took place during that performance. As well, they performed this tremendous scene from Ballo. And the way that they acted, the way that they made the stage of the conservatory, which is a concert stage, they turned it into an opera stage, and it's such a unique musical and intense musical experience when you see this performed without any decor of any kind or special scenery of any kind, and it's just two people reacting to each other and bringing that music to such life and to such intensity that it's an important historical document. What is interesting for me also was to bring Sandra, who's an American, to Russia. I've always loved hosting my American friends and colleagues in Russia. I was born in the US and of Russian parents, Russian Armenian parents, and I've been living in Russia for the past 20 years. So conducting the Moscow Chamber Orchestra, the Philharmonia of Russia, various orchestras around Russia, St. Petersburg, and it's always been a wonderful experience to introduce musicians to this tremendous Russian musical heritage. And hopefully artists like Sandra and Dmitri will be performing Russian repertoire as well together. One of the wonderful things about meeting Sandra in Moscow and doing the concert with her there, with Dmitri, was that we really got to be very close friends, and we decided that it was high time that she did her first solo CD. So from this Verdi Scenes CD and concert and DVD, subsequent DVD that came out of it, we also then a year later recorded in my estimation, a fabulous CD of Verdi arias. And I think that everybody around the world knows how wonderful she is, and I'm very, very happy about the success that the CD has had. Another thing that you'll find is quite unique is the fact that they announce each piece before the actual work is performed. And that is specifically done because not everybody was able to have a program in previous years. It's a tradition. And programs are purchased there, so you're not forced to purchase a program, and you still know what's being performed. Typically, well, I won't say European, but specifically Russian phenomenon, with the flowers, with the gifts, with the books, with running up and asking for an autograph and all these sorts of things. It's a wonderful, touching experience. People that come to the concerts obviously need to come prepared with these things, so they think about it in advance. They actually go and buy the flowers someplace because there is the flower kiosk in the concert hall, of course. So that there's this huge love that comes from the audience. They love their heroes, they love their people, they love their music, and they come prepared, knowing exactly what they're going to be listening to. They come interested, and it's a very exciting atmosphere. It's a wonderful thing, and I must say that flowers are not cheap in Russia, so this is quite an expense that people go to bring these beautiful bouquets to the artists. This concert in particular, there were a lot of colleagues that were in the concert hall. Renee Fleming was there. I was doing a concert with her just a couple of days later in Moscow. Olga Guryakova, a wonderful soprano, was there. Many friends from the United States flew in. It was a wonderful, wonderful event. And it's, again, Chvorostovsky and Friends. It's an ongoing series of concerts that we do every year with Dmitri in the Kremlin, in the Great Hall of the Conservatory. Different artists coming, different artists performing. And it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for Dmitri to expand his friendship horizons with these great colleagues of his from around the world.